So here are the Subaru fuel connectors that came off the wrecker. They just cut them, and they're the quick connect style. So I went to my local tube and hose guy, and I had to take some fuel line and put the quick connect fittings on it. I got the engine transmission mated here. I got one problem that I ran into was the Rocky Mountain Westy reverse coolant manifold interfered with the starter's starting solenoid. So I was able to find the starter off of the dual cam version of like a 2004. As you can see, the solenoid is kind of offset between the two ears, and so once I got that, then I was able to mount the starter so I can still get to the coolant feed. When I was tearing out all the old stuff, the firewall pretty much came apart in my hand. So I found some of the other DeSamba people use this thermoacoustic liner that's made for like an engine or generator box. So I'll cut that and put that in now before I put the engine in. I moved the fuel lines from the normal spot here, and then there's a piece that hung there. I moved them to this side. Down here I got the new firewall in. That was an absolute pain in the ass. I think it's all ready to receive the new engine. I'm starting to get some of the plumbing done here. Here's the radiator return, and then this goes to the thermostat crossover pipe. Here is from the coolant manifold, and that goes to the radiator feed. And then here is this one back here is the heater loop return, and then here's the heater loop feed that comes from the other side of the engine block. So I'm setting up the coolant bottle. This is small cars mount, and I just screwed that down with some sheet metal screws. And then I had to grind off part of the tab that it used to use. And then from there, it just fits right in. And then I got a new level fender in there too. So I was starting to get everything in the engine bay all set up. I got the expansion bottle in, and then he's all plumbed into the heater lines. We have the manifold and the crossover pipe way down there. Those guys are in. I got the power steering pump and power steering lines done here, and this is a flex power steering line that I got from a small car. The connection for the brake booster for the Subaru is a smaller diameter than what the VW was, so I got this reducer here that takes it from like 16 mil down to, I think it was like 12 or 11 or something like that. And then also here's the this goes to the charcoal canister, and I have a little reducer in there because it goes from like 6 millimeter down to 3.5 for the stock of VW. And then you take on the check valve, you loop it around from the top to the bottom because we only need one input. And then right now this also goes to the charcoal canister, but I just have it sealed off with just a big nut. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that yet. And then here I have the accelerator pedal, and then this is the small car mount for the drive-by-wire setup. And here I have an 8 millimeter nut that I can control. I can adjust here, so I can set how far the pedal can go, because apparently if it gets pulled too far, it'll put the car into limp mode. Let's see. This is a half-inch hose that goes to the crank or to the cam breathers, and that gets plumbed on both sides to the intake. And then this is the intake from Rocky Mountain Westy. And I ran into a problem with the small car drive-by-wire mount and their intake. It didn't quite work, so I ordered a 45-degree elbow here for the rest of the intake, and that should work. Got the harness back from Tom Shields, and he did a great job, as you can see. Everything's labeled, and yeah, I couldn't have done that without his help. So this, I want the ECU and all the relays to go underneath the cabinet here, so I'm going to have to drill a hole into this. Rented a right angle drill, and I got a 2 1/8 hole bit, so cut through that. So before I can install the new wiring harness, there's a few things you got to do to it. I got to splice in the coolant level sender. This is the fuel pump lead. And then the harness that I sent Tom was missing the this is the connector to the airflow sensor, and so I got to splice this in. The harness in. Important thing to note is I feeded it through from the basically the beginning of it, so where the alternator is, and slowly fed it through. And you want to get the big connectors through first, so like the 2 engine connectors I fed through first, and then slowly work your way through it. That was kind of a pain in the ass, so be prepared for it to take a while. And now taking the opportunity to add oil to the engine, because that would be very unfortunate if I forgot that. I got the exhaust manifold on. This is the small car stainless steel. Yeah. And I was trying to get the heat shield on,
but which I really should have put on before I mounted the motor. But you can see the hangers to hold the muffler are in the way of the heat shield, so I need to cut them down there so they fit. Note to self, don't break a rib while you're in the middle of this project, because it's pretty painful.
So I've double checked everything on the whole cooling system, and I'm ready to start filling it with coolant.